is just this year in January, and I'm implementing it right now, there is a software program called SchoolView. The only way that we have to track our energy, you all, is get our bills in here, we mark them down. So if we have a leak up at Warfield Elementary School or the middle school, we don't find out about it till a month and a half later, like, oh my gosh, what happened to the water bill? You know? So we're kind of playing behind the scenes here. Well, I'm working on a project right now, SchoolView, that should be done within a month. I'll be able to give every building principal a breakdown, just as exactly what you spent this month, this year, compared to last year. So we have at least that month variance. But I'm also working on a program right now with Dick Mink out of the Department of Finance in Frankfurt. I'm meeting with him tomorrow as well. We're developing a program where we have some school districts that are strapped with money are going to be able to go in and do some controls and have some software where we can actually go in and get actual day data where we can see how much money we made yesterday, how much money we lost yesterday, blah, blah, blah. So we're working on that program. Energy is something, gang, that's always ever changing. This last part right here, as you can see, I just gave an example of Lawrence County. This is the report I'm talking about that I will give to all the, Mr. Superintendent, Mr. Meadows will have one of these, and every building principal will have this. The yellow marks are the ones that were improvements been made over the previous year. But I can't stress to you enough, this last year, we were keeping track of the bills that we had. We had no idea what we were spending. We got the bill in, wrote a check, sent it back to them. Now we've had opportunity to be able to go out there and know what we're spending, know what the future holds, to be able to set a budget, to plan. We have a benchmark, what we did last year, this is what we're going to do this year. And the most important factor is our students are the ones that are doing it. It's not me that end up and screaming in school. It's the principals, it's the staff, it's the students that are doing this program. So, with that, that's kind of my presentation. I appreciate your all support and everything that you've done. The schools have done a tremendous job. They've been very well received. Anything we talk about. And so if there's anything, any questions you have, you can lay it on me or I'll be your dad.
How about Eden? Eden Elementary.
Eden is on Big Sandy, RECC.
Okay, but how was their cost as far as heating? Back when the school was built, it was built geothermal heating.
Right.
What are their utility costs as far as heating?
And theirs, and compared to some of the others, it's much better because of geothermal. And what I can do is I'll break that out for you if you'd like. See, the school do thing will actually break out where I can compare schools to schools. Last year we had a program where every month we were doing like usage and cost. And we had an energy award every month that we were giving to schools and things of that nature if they participated in the program. So we're going to re-amp again this year where you'll have the Edens with, the Big Sandy will be against the other AEPs. But Bruce Davis is a good friend of mine. He's kind of the second guy up there. He's on my board of education in Johnson County, so he and I stay really close together on particular.
So do you think the thing with Moundsville, the transfer to Moundsville, to buy power, that's a done deal?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, it appears to be, if you read.
Well, the situation we had initially was we want to put the scrubbers in. It's going to cost you 31 cents. The problem we had with that was, and on environmental charge, I don't know if you all familiar with this, and I don't mean to, but 31 cents on environmental charge, we had no say about that. According to state law, federal law, if they come in and say, well, we got to put scrubbers in because EPA says to do it, guess what? We're going to put it on environmental charge and you can't object to it. But what happened, there was so much uproar over them doing it that way that they decided to pull the application. Then they went out and purchased 50% of the Moundsville operation. And now they're
AEP did.
Yes, sir. And now they own a 50% share of that, and they're trying to provide that cost on us. They've asked for 31%, but they'll settle for 20 because, see, they can do it on a rate increase that way. So we still got to kind of raise our voices up and say, look.
So it's not a done deal?
Not yet. No, the hearing starts tomorrow. There'll be a hearing tomorrow and Thursday at 10 o'clock in Frankfurt. You're all welcome to come up there. But there'll be a lot of us speaking and talking about that. I hit them from the approach of, I said, look, and I'm in the process of doing this, you all too. I'm working with Grayson, RECC, which handles Blaine Elementary School. And Bruce is going to work with us too, and we're going to use even some of the data. We're actually going to try to write a tariff just for school. The problem is we're compared to a commercial or an industrial type rate or a tariff or whatever that's handed out 365, 24/7 a day. We're in that same category. We know we operate our schools 12, 14 hours a day. So I told the PSC, I said, look, all I want to do is look from apples to apples and oranges to oranges. We're compared to this. They can raise the cost in their products or services that they sell to the community. We have no way of doing that. Our money continues to get cut from the state and federal and all that. I said, we have no way of generating revenue except to raise property tax. And I said, when we raise property tax, what happens? We're, doing things to be able to hurt the people that are doing it. So we have no way of generating income. Our students are leaving and all that, So you got to help us. So that was kind of our push.
So,
Thank you, Mr. Sack. Is there any action we need to take on this, on each program tonight as far as a renewal rate?
No, what we did was, we had a 2-year contract, and we did that last year, so that carries us through this next year. Basically, the way I get paid, I'm an employee of Johnson County. And what Lawrence and Paxton, when you all share in my costs or whatever, and they just kind of bill me for the year or whatever. So they kind of share like the KED program, similar to instructors and things of that nature.
So the thing is with the Big Sandy plan is they want to shut down a coal-fired plant and buy power from another coal-fired plant.
Basically, because it has a scrubber in it.
Because that's a
And they
scrubber.
already made the investment in that facility. Thank you all for your support.
Okay, I'm going to change the order of the agenda a little bit. We've got an executive session, and we've got 2 items under new business we need to address. So I'm going to move to new business. Transportation bids. This is for supplies, fuel, various transportation costs.
Yes, sir. I recommend the board approve the transportation bids as received, the lowest bidder.
Is there a motion to approve that?
Okay.
Have a motion, and a second. Motion second. All in favor, indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item under new business would be the Shelton Park High School gymnasium floor. You want to talk a little bit about that before we approach that?
I think the question, the legal question is how the funds are received and what that source is and how the board can absorb that. So the question is about the gym floor at Shelton Park High School and the partnership with Judge Executive out of Cole Severance funds and to replace the floor at Shelton Park High School with Cole Severance covering those expenses. The question is to our board attorney then would be, how are those funds received? Can they be received as a donation? Can the board approve the donation? Do we have to bid if we accept donations or a reimbursement? How should that work? I know that's pretty open-ended.
I hadn't heard this before. That's someone is going to donate money?
Judge Executive
Yeah, the business floor.
is going to allocate funds from Coast Severance to replace the gym floor at the high school.
I think you ought to solicit bids on the gym floor.
So the district,
Well, they've already, the county's been, they bid it. I don't know. You better give me some time to look over that tomorrow. I mean, the county has bid it, is that correct? And they have accepted a bid?
I haven't seen
Somebody know
any
what they've
accepted
done?
bids.
I don't know, I guess Bob was just telling me somebody had bid it or something.
They bid it out, and they have a bid they want to use, but I don't think they're officially accepted.
Let me tell you, I think you've got a problem if they ask you to write a purchase order. My opinion is, I'm not an attorney, but my opinion is that if you've agreed you want them to put a floor in, and they bid it, and they put it in and pay for it, you're fine. But if they ask you to write a purchase order, then you're buying the floor based on their bid. And that's where I think.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
That happened similar in another district. The process has to be with Cole Severance money. They can't pay directly to the school. What has to happen is they will make that appropriation to a nonprofit party, which can then donate it to the school for that project. I think the legalities of it, we can look into that, but that's what I've seen in the past. That it can't come directly, I guess, to the student.
We'll just take it under advisement, so you get legal counsel.
So I can discuss this with
Yes.
the board attorney?
Yes. Come up with it. We won't take any action. Okay, is there any further new business, Mr. Meadows?
Yes, sir, I would like to add, as Mr. Bob Spillman, if the audience did not know, Mr. Bob Spillman is a consultant from KDE in the area of finance, and has given a report to the board in our working session. And I'd also like to invite our treasurer, Ms. Sloan, to give the board an update on the finances.